going on, beautiful people? It's your boy, Mr. Meyer, with the fire, here to share ideas and take the collective vibration higher. And my sole intention is to reconcile all paradox with love and truth, and I love you. And this is a special video because Mars Day with Mark, episode 13, in full effect. This is the week's astrology breakdown for the week of September 5th to September 12th. Sit back, relax. I'm going to give you the facts, and then I'll give you my subjective perspective on this energy. And if I seem a little frustrated, I certainly am. Here is the chart. Feast your eyes. Behold. Ignore the houses. Ignore the clock face. That's my geography and time. Why am I frustrated? This is at least the 15th time I've started the video. I'm not even kidding. Why? Because it has never been good enough for me. And I've said, fuck this video. In my camera roll, there's probably about 15 partial videos. So this is 1 week in the future. And I'm going to take it through degree, U to the we. And I'm just going to break it down holistically. So I hope that you guys have more fun watching this than I have making it. Whew. And I'm setting the intention to have a good time as I make this video. And to give you all the most meaningful information that I can about the astrology in the week ahead. Because there is a lot to talk about. I also feel like there isn't much. But I am the one who's looking at this shit every day. And what I mean by that is there's certainly always something to talk about when it comes to the transits. But it feels like not much has changed this week. Even though I'm going to break it down step by step. Things may be slowing down a little bit. So let's talk about it. We've got the sun in Virgo at 12 degrees today. And that's going to say that 1 week from now, it'll be at 19 degrees next Tuesday. And I want to give some big love to my Virgo family. Represent. Leave me a comment. Do you have your sun in Virgo? You got placements in Virgo? What do you have? It's really important you understand where Virgo is in the chart. Because regardless if you have placements in Virgo, like a planet or something, you still have it in the chart. So it's vitally important you understand where this sign is so you can see where the sun is in your chart. And I'll give you an example using myself. So I'm a Virgo ascendant, and in my natal chart, I don't have any planets in Virgo. Like I'm a Leo sun, all my other planets don't hit Virgo. But because my ascendant, aka the cusp of my first house, is in Virgo, that puts Virgo in my first. And that's gonna mean when the sun is in Virgo in this month, the sun is going through my first house. So the theme, the spotlight, the sun is on me. Ooh-wee, I'm shining bright. And that's just gonna mean for me, this whole month, broadly speaking, is about my personal life, my personal issues, insecurities, things that I'm dealing with, my personal work, my image, my identity. That's what I'm seeing through all my Virgo action in the world. That's what Virgo is doing for me. So look at your chart and see where it is. Like Pisces rising, for example, the exact opposite. Y'all would have Virgo in your 7th house, meaning that Virgo season is more so about your relationships. It's more so about, your partnerships, your ideals about the world. Maybe your spouse, maybe your friends, things like that. So figure out the house and see where it is. But just understand, above all else, Virgo energy is about self-improvement. Virgo is about a deep focus. It's very specific. It's very procedural and systematic. Virgo is the Hermit card. But if you want to get into the Kabbalistic correspondences to the tree in the tarot, this is Virgo sun energy, specifically the 8 of Pentacles. And this is really about the work. This is your vocation. The things that you do, what service looks like for you, the meaning of your sacrifices. So that's very beautiful when it comes to Virgo, is that this is really about learning, optimizing, building skills. So it's vitally important that you be a student of the game at this time, because this energy is pretty fast, I will say. Mercury is the ruling planet of Virgo. And anywhere Mercury is concerned, things are going to happen very fast. So you may see frustrations that are coming from the little tiny things that are interrupting us or causing us more time when it comes to our plans. And also the details are really important when it comes to Virgo season, because Virgo is specific. It's very detailed. And that's just going to say that little things are either going to set us off or give us more satisfaction at this time. And that is why I've had to record the beginning of this video 15 times, because I didn't like the way that I like clapped and then started talking. Or I didn't like the way that I started talking and then the clap hit. It's like little tiny fucking things that are irritating as hell, that don't really fucking matter, but they piss me off from the soul right now, dude. So like, I want to destroy my fucking phone, and it's not that serious, dude. But good Lord, Mercury is in retrograde. Woosah, woosah, woosah. So I think the whole world might need to take a deep breath, because I can't be the only fucking one who's experiencing this fucking energy. Who's like, God, I want to burn the world down because I can't fix it fast enough. That's what it feels like. Okay. I'm not even trying to be dramatic, y'all. Virgo represents healing also. This is about your focus within time and space and putting things in order, things that do not belong. In Virgo, I dropped a whole video about Virgo the other day to really break down this archetype in depth. I don't know if I've ever seen a video that detailed about Virgo, but with Virgo ruling over the 6th house, aka the spleen, the stomach, the gut microbiome, this represents our nervous system and impulses to and from the brain. And the crazy thing about Virgo energy is that the little details are really going to register with the body, whether that's details within the process that we're working on, our actual work, or when it comes to our character and soul development. That's also going to be a thing as well. So what you find is that anything you pay attention to, there is a reason for it. And the challenge becomes figuring out what is the fucking reason. Mark my words, man. Anytime you pay attention to anything, there's a reason for it. I promise you that. So the question is why? But do understand that wherever attention goes, energy flows. And that's the whole reason we have pain. Pain is an impulse from the nervous system to get our attention, so we can send energy to things that need healing. So I just want you to understand, whenever it comes to your physical body this month, or when it comes to your physical experience externally, the things you pay attention to are asking you to bring healing. And perception is reality. Virgo's power and problem is judgment. In other words, forming opinions or discriminating about something damn near the moment it's perceived. So the way that we judge people is us. The way that we judge ourselves is us. Okay? Be mindful of your judgment right now, because your judgment is giving you a window of opportunity to see yourself and also create more integration. And to split more into my subjective experience, guys, I'm healing my heart a lot. That's what's going on with me. I'm doing a lot of healing in my body, but the majority of it is revolving around my heart. And that's just going to mean that it's really anger I'm dealing with more than anything else. And it's like the little tiny things in my process, even if it's just the way that, my videos might take longer to upload, or maybe I got to swipe my card extra because of the Mercury retrograde. It's like that evokes anger in me. And that's my shadow emotion that I got to heal, So pay attention to the way you respond. Pay attention to how you react nowadays, because your reactions about life say more about you than they do about life, which is really what I'm trying to get into. And I feel like I hit the nail into that coffin. So that bitch died. And hopefully, it's empowering to see that your responses are actually giving you a message to grow at this time. And that's really beautiful. So let's talk about the moon right quick, man. Just understand that the moon went full last week, and that's just going to mean we're waning now. In other words, releasing, letting go. If you look at the moon night after night, it's going to be smaller and smaller until we hit new moon after next week. So basically, the theme this week, guys, is releasing. It's letting go. Allowing all your emotions, your ideas to really flow through you. And to keep working on your plans. Virgo is about consistency, but to let anything that's interrupting flow or peace just go and release. The Queen of Money, the Page of Cups, that feels like just enjoy life and really try to prioritize yourself, prioritize your peace, prioritize your stability. And don't let anything interrupt you. I see Libra coming out, man. This is about balance. This is about really creating equality within your relationships, but also within your personal experience. Try to assume control of your life, remove liabilities and distractions, and invest your energy into assets and growth. So that's beautiful. On another note, let's talk about Mercury retrograde. Mercury is in Virgo right now at 14 degrees. And at the end of the week, Mercury is going to be at 8 degrees because it's moving backwards. And just understand that Mercury represents the powers of the mind and our perception of reality. It's also how we communicate and how we get involved. And Virgo Mercury is perfect because Mercury's home. In other words, the mind is specific, it's rational, it's subtractive and deductive. The mind is working as it should. This is the whole point of Virgo Mercury. But what's interesting is that the retrograde motion of Mercury is going to slow down our communication in some way, shape, or form, or all of the above. So this is going to mean that when it comes to communicating your thoughts and your ideas, you do want to slow down a little bit right now to make communication more effective. And you're probably seeing this already, man. Certain misunderstandings, miscommunications have been happening, and they're liable to keep happening if we don't spend a little bit more time working on our communication and our listening on an active level as well. I've seen this in my readings this week as well, where it's like just tiny things like the stats on birth charts, or people telling me about their life and me, getting characters and their story mixed up and things like that. So ask more questions nowadays. Don't leave things up to assumption or chance. Double check your work. Cross the T's, dot the I's. I don't like to be a fear-mongering astrologer because I don't see the value in it, but you've probably heard this a million times over. Mercury is about communication. It's about contracts, agreements, things like that too. So just be careful. Be careful when it comes to signing agreements, signing contracts, starting connections with people, correspondence. Double check, make sure the facts make sense. And if it's really big plans, you could wait. But I don't encourage anybody to let Mercury govern your actions, or any retrograde planet for that matter, man. Some people would encourage you never to travel during a Mercury retrograde, but I think if Mercury is retrograde 3 to 4 times a year for damn near a month at a time, how the fuck are you going to let Mercury tell you where and when you can go and where you can't go? That doesn't make any damn sense, dude. It's just going to say if you need to travel, just make it make sense. Double check and maybe have some backup plans, and service your vehicles. Make sure your cars get maintained. And like I said, if you're going to be traveling by like bus, plane, train, etc., you may want to spend a little bit of extra time with the planning. Look up contingencies, look at different routes to get where you're going, and leave early as well. And just make it make sense. Because we can't plan for we can't expect the unexpected because it's unexpected truly. But if we think about contingencies, we can put ourselves in a more advantageous position. In other words, preventative maintenance will go a long way at this time. And another thing about Mercury in general, my friends, is that Mercury rules over the 3rd house and the 6th house. And we've kind of beat it to death when we talk about the 6th house Virgo. You should already kind of see how this energy governs our perspective in our body. But the thing about the 3rd house is our immediate environment. Not only is it our hands and our arms and how we reach into the world, it's really about the surroundings that we live in. So the thing about Mercury retrograde is revising your surroundings. For some people, especially with the probability of how fast Mercury is going to go to retrograde and how frequently. Some people move during Mercury retrograde, truly. But even if it doesn't play out like that, this is the perfect time to organize your surroundings and make them more conducive to your growth. The first Hermetic principle of mentalism says all is mind, everything is mind. So the same energy that your mind is made of is the same energy your mind is able to perceive. And what that actually means is that the things in your environment are a reflection of your mind. From the things you keep on your desk, the things you put on your walls, the things that you allow to get under your bed, the things that go into your closet, the way that you are in your neighborhood, the front of your house. Like, that's all third house energy, guys. So Mercury retrograde is the perfect time to clean your fucking room, clean your car, clean the house, make things make more sense. I've read some of the comments on my other video. They're like, my house has never been cleaner. Good, because that's what this energy is about. And on top of this, I usually don't get into all the asteroids, but let me tell you guys that Vesta is still in Gemini. And Vesta in Gemini is ruled by Mercury, because that's Gemini. And that's just going to say that Vesta, the sacred will, the divine flame that burns away impurities and aligns us with our true will, this sacred flame said, clean your damn room, my dude, and clean your mind at the same time. And you'll realize that cleaning is the best banishing ritual. And be impeccable with your word. Your ideas are the thoughts of creation, so be intentional with the things that you wish to bring into existence, is how that one goes, okay? So let me talk about Venus. I just had to take a deep breath, man. Like, just so much Virgo energy, man. That sigh was on brand. It was on point. It was actually perfect timing, man, because Venus falls in Virgo. So, like, good Lord, man. And Venus has been having a tough time 4 months, bruh. I'm not even going to hold you guys. Like, that's how it's been. Venus is in Leo at 12 degrees. And at the end of the week, Venus is going to be at 13 degrees. And that's going to say that she's moving forward. The retrograde is over. You can mark yourself safe. You survived the retrograde. But damn, bruh. It's like I'm surviving, but I'm barely here, dude. No, I'm playing. It's not that bad. Leo's dramatic, so I gotta be dramatic about it. But what is Venus? Venus is all about love. It's all about value. It's all about beauty. Venus is about love, connection, and partnership, all right? And what is this? The love of ourself, Leo energy, the sun ruling Venus. And with the sun ruling Venus in the sign of Virgo, this looks like getting very specific about why you love yourself. And I don't even like to say this, guys, because it can sound so negative, but astrology is based on polarity, or polarity is a fundamental part of astrology. So if you want to get specific about why you love yourself, you'd also do well to get specific about why you hate yourself. You feel me? And some of y'all be like, but I don't. And I'd be like, well, good on you, man. But you also might not be able to dig in that shadow if you don't accept the question, or if you judge it too hard to listen. You know, what things upset you about yourself? What things do you think you need? Because that's what Venus is about. And while Venus is going very slow and kind of reversing her direction, I'm going to just speak through my heart and my Venus. I got a Venus-ruled moon. And this just says that Venus's needs, broadly speaking. So I'm going to try to walk you through this logically so you can see how my subjective self can pull this out. Venus is your needs, what you need to sustain your actual life. This will govern likes and dislikes as well. So this energy is going to ask you, what do you truly need? And the sun is going to push you out in this world to interact with people, places, things, certain food, certain substance. And it's imperative you go beyond the physical and ask yourself, what quality does this person provide me? What quality does this goal provide me? When I get X, Y, Z, what do I think it's going to provide me? And I'll use our relationship, for example, man, just to make it less esoteric. If it is a love partnership, if it is a relationship, you know, most people may think that a love partnership might make them feel more special, might make them feel more desirable. It might make you feel more beautiful, maybe even more powerful, right? But you got to understand, these external things like a partnership or money or a career or a job, like these things in themselves, in and of themselves, will not give you anything. You may have different physical dynamics, man, but when it comes to the emotions, they won't give you any emotions. So I just want to say that this Venus retrograde in Leo has been about not giving our power away to things that are external, and to truly center ourselves within ourselves, to fill our cup and to create the emotions that we want to experience. And this is something crazy that a lot of us may disagree with, is that we can choose how we feel. Our emotions are often conditioned from the past, the environment, and what we've been shown or taught to believe. But we can choose what to believe. We can program our environment. We can choose our thoughts and actions. So do remember, you can choose how you want to feel. It's easier said than done, but you can really set the thermostat. You don't have to be the thermometer, so to speak. So my question is to you, when it comes to your goals, because you should have goals, otherwise your life will be meaningless. You won't have any targets to hit. What do you think your goals are going to provide for you emotionally? Okay? And when you find these feelings, I want you to just scrap the physical goals. I don't mean that literally. You can still have objectives, but work harder on building these intangible qualities than you do working on the physical manifestation. And what you'll realize is the more you embody the qualities that you expect your physical reality to give you, the faster you manifest these circumstances or situations or relationships as well. So vitally important, vitally cool. And I think what's really important about this, what's the coolest about it, is that when you see life through this lens, you'll realize the physical cannot interrupt you. People can't interrupt you. Every experience you have is an opportunity to grow in self-love and respect, and in purpose and strength. And I think that's very, very important, guys, because while Venus goes direct, while we're done with the retrograde motion, we are going to be receiving a little bit more love externally. We'll be receiving more joy from the world and truly experiencing the beauty that life has to offer us. But at the same time, guys, if we don't recognize that this is an internal world, you might not see this beauty, or you may experience the beauty but not appreciate it, and that would be tremendously sad. So the point being, because I have thoroughly talked your ear off about Venus, is that you innately provide everything that you require. And when you forget that, you may feel like other people or the world has power over you. All right? And that's not a fun feeling, so let's not do that. Take advantage of your resources, your ability. And I feel like there's a lot of healing when it comes to love, because this Venus retrograde rocked my shit, dude. I am a Leo, so this one definitely hit me personally. But Leo is a personal energy because it's sun. So what I'm seeing is that you guys, you don't have to do this, but if you go back through the other Mars Day with Mark, you'll hear me say this many times. I've been saying this time and time and time again, dude. The Venus retrograde made us learn a deeper level of ourself that we would have preferred not to know about. And many of you guys who rock with me and follow my content, you are in the self-improvement mode. You are in the shadow work. You love to learn about yourself, but truly this is a resolution of collective negligence as well, and negative emotions and repression when it comes to our individuality. Leo Venus retrograde, and Lilith is still in Leo as well. So there's an excavation of the soul and the energies that we wish to hold back and hide from other people. And the whole point is vibrating in your authentic self, truly not holding yourself back or being unencumbered by falsities or illusions. This is about true love, truly. This is about releasing attachment and toxicity so we can have mutual connection built on trust and respect. And that's what it's about. That's what it's for. And on top of this, guys, Mars is in Libra, and this is challenging because Mars doesn't necessarily want to be here for real. Mars would rather be in Aries or Scorpio. And why? Because Mars is the planet of desire. Mars is the planet of passion, intention, willpower. So with Mars in Libra at 5 degrees today, and at 10 degrees at the end of the week, Mars is moving along and just trekking through the sign of peace, the sign of relationships, the sign of balance. And that's going to say, quite literally, guys, the intention right now is to create peace, to create harmony, to create balance and love. And for some people, you'll feel this as a desire to be partnered, a desire to be in a relationship. People who are already in a relationship might be experiencing frustration within the relationships because of Mars in Libra, where certain things that didn't feel balanced, or maybe they just literally were not balanced for the longest time, these are now starting to get too irritating to deal with. So I'm seeing that a lot of people are having conversations that have been necessary for the longest time. And some people are really realizing what it is that they value and desire with this energy as well. I can see a lot of people getting in touch with their anger with Mars in the fall, where, like I said, inside or outside of a relationship, things that may not have been fair, that you found a way to deal with, you can't deal with that shit anymore because Mars is in the fall. Saying, hey, enough is enough, man. And conflict delayed can be conflict multiplied. So I'm seeing for a lot of people with this Mars Libra, it's like we might be experiencing multiplied conflict from all the times we bit our tongue and didn't say shit when we knew better. So I see the Jupiter Libra card. It's increasing our understanding of our relationships and really what we value and where we want to go. And on the note of a relationship, a good relationship is built off three things, my friends. That's a shared mission, similar values, and similar interests. And if we don't agree on those three things, man, we're probably liable to interrupt each other or frustrate each other, man. So it's just imperative that when it comes to any of our partnerships, romantic, platonic, business, etc., that we understand the reason, that we have direction, and that we set up some parameters, some guidelines or boundaries so we can be in a position where neither of us fail and neither of us gets hurt. On top of those three things, my friends, we are going to need communication. That's an imperative thing. We can't leave things up to assumption or chance. So Libra Mars says, ask for what you want and get in touch with your emotions. Speak how you feel. Let your ideas be known. Don't hide your truth. Speak your truth. For some people, I see Mars Libra as a need for physical exercise, maybe even self-defense, or to start martial arts or strength training in some way, shape, or form. Getting stronger, building resilience, working on progressive overload. You feel me? And that's going to say that if we tie back to Virgo, you may already be on that health kick. You might already be on the health journey, but that's going to say progressive overload is you want to systematically increase what you are putting on yourself as far as resistance so you can build in a steady growth oriented way and not massively overload yourself to the point where you have to take more breaks and maybe even have to lose time because of those shortcuts that you want to take. And I could use the example of ego lifting perhaps as like if you are on your strength journey and you go to the gym and you add 100 pounds to your max just because you really want to grow so fast and you throw out both of your shoulders and now you got to spend a whole week out of the gym and now you lose your gains because you couldn't be in the gym for a week. Oh man, you played yourself. So let's not do that, you know? So you should see the example, kind of how this energy plays out, is that it is a process, guys, and we're going to have to do our best to enjoy it. How can we enjoy the process as much as the result? I don't know. Let me know. I'm asking you guys help, please. I want to know. Oh, let me know. So on another note, let's talk about Jupiter, because Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus, and Jupiter just went retrograde. Jupiter governs philosophies, expansion, and growth, and really our connection with the cosmos at large. So you'll see that Jupiter is guiding us towards stability with Jupiter and Taurus. Growth, abundance, material success, and also guiding us back to Mother Earth, guiding us to be out in nature, guiding us to be one with the Mother, which is meant to be archetypal and esoteric, but this might also call you to the divine feminine. Jupiter in a feminine sign. This might call you to the goddess. This might call you to your own mom or beautiful women. But Jupiter in Taurus is really about nourishing yourself. And with Jupiter going retrograde in its motion, that's just going to say that there is a revision of values. There's a revision when it comes to philosophies and a revision when it comes to growth. And a lot of us might be letting go of that nervous, restless, unbounded energy that Jupiter gives us and really making peace with the increase, making peace with the procedure, and really seeing the road laying out for us in a more organized way. And I see the King of Pentacles up on this bitch. I see the Five of Wands, and I see the Ace, or not the Page or the Ace. This is a Knight of Cups. And I really see this as understanding the gift of strife, understanding the gift of challenges, that adversity builds character, being able to grow through what we go through, and having a more optimistic approach towards the challenges ahead of us. And that's going to help us move forward in a growth-oriented mindset, truly, you know? And I think this is about being more specific as well. Not leaving things to hope or chance. Having strong faith, having strong convictions, but not waiting for miracles just to show up and fall into your lap. Being the miracle. Taking action. Inspired action based on your own principles, your own understanding of life, and even the guidance of spirit as well. Being intentional with the things in the realm of your control. And on top of this, Saturn is retrograde as well. Saturn is in Pisces at 3 degrees, and then at the end of the week, 2 degrees. So between Jupiter and Saturn, damn near nothing changed, man. We're 1 degree behind. And this is what I mean about things slowing down. Is like from week to week, dude, you'll see Jupiter move not at all. You'll see Saturn move back 1 degree. You'll see Uranus move back 1 degree. You'll see Neptune not move at all. You'll see Pluto not move at all. Chiron will move back 1 degree. Nodes will stay in the same spot. So I'll tell you about it really quick, but at the same time, just understand this is the same as last week, dude. Apart from the inner aspects, which we'll talk about as well, is that Saturn in Pisces retrograde is about revising your understanding of yourself and also dismantling your fears. Saturn is the structure of our conscious. It's how the finite world is built and organized. And Saturn in Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, reflecting collective responsibilities of faith, collective responsibilities on forgiveness, the collective responsibility of releasing, and also building your dreams and imagination. In other words, I mean, taking your spiritual journey seriously, taking your spirituality seriously, knowing and recognizing that the spiritual world is a real reality, and really it's the source of our physical one. And the difference between the two can be very vast, but at the same time, that's only a matter of perspective. The worlds are one and the same. Actually, all things happen simultaneously. There is no linear time. And you can debate me all you want, because yeah, we've got calendars, but you got to think about, how does the universe see all this stuff? From what level of perspective is it? What is time? What is a day? It really depends on where you are. A day here is not the same as a day on Jupiter. And a day in the Milky Way is not the same as a day in El Tanin, you know? It's not. It's all fluid, it's all flexible. Time is a mutable substance that bends to your will and perception. And while we can catalog it based on calendars and rotations and revolutions, you need to have some timelessness when it comes to your life right now. You got to recognize the facade that is linear time and not let time scare the fuck out of you, dude. This is one thing I kind of feel right off the intuition, is that many of us can feel like we're running out of time or that we're falling short, especially with the Virgo energy. And this reflects a feeling of inadequacy, a feeling of poverty within the soul, feeling like we aren't good enough or that we lack something that would meet our needs. And that's going to have to go. That belief system has to be uprooted from the collective conscience. Poverty is an epidemic, and it exists in spirit before it materializes physically, okay? On my Saturn Taurus, guys, I'm trying to tell y'all that you have to have faith in life. You have to have faith in yourself, and you have to realize at this time that your consciousness of the universe is your supply. Your consciousness of the universe inside of your body is your supply. One more time, your consciousness, your conscious awareness of the universe within you is your supply. It is your substance. It is the source of all your good. It's what provides for you. It gives you life. It animates your body. It's easy to get tricked into feeling like the external world gives you stability because you live here for the time being. Nah, dude, the universe gives you stability. The universe permits all of this. Don't underestimate God's power. The only reason you're here is because God said so. And God is a limited word for what we all experience, but you should understand what I'm saying is that all of these problems that you have as a human can go away like that the moment God says no more, okay? So you do well to experience this life with gratitude, with some mesmerization, not to take it too serious. I see a lot of the people with Saturn Pisces going through their return at this time, and some of y'all's biggest challenges is that you've understood the spiritual journey but taken it so damn serious you put pressure on yourself to provide and don't let God be God. And that's tremendously weird and powerful in the sense that you've understood the necessity to be in the good fight, to be a soldier, to be an example of love and truth. But at the same time, dude, it's like there needs to be submission under God's will to be able to have freedom as you want. And submission doesn't mean surrender. And that's vitally important. And on some level, this is going to say that you have to trust God and not fear God. Because love and fear are not the same thing. So which is it? Do you love God or do you fear God? Because you can't do both. No, you can't. Not at the same time. Jehovah's not going to like that one, dude. You. Oh. All right, let me move on, man. With my hurt Pluto Sag. Man, fuck Jehovah. Lifetimes of frustration, y'all. Don't mind me. Let me keep moving forward. Uranus is in Taurus. And Uranus takes about 7 years to move through each sign of the zodiac. And what's crazy about that is that the Earth is upgrading in frequency. The planet Uranus raises the vibration of anything that it comes into contact with. And not only does this elevate the Earth itself, because that's Taurus, what this is also going to do is shift our value system collectively. And like I said, if we are going through about 7 years of Uranus and Taurus, we're damn near about 4 years through it, okay? So we have a couple more years to go. Uranus is at 23 Taurus. Uranus will be at 22 at the end of the week. So it's going to be in that conversation for a minute, but a collective value shift. And that's going to say that the material is not giving us as much stability as we wanted because the Earth is recalibrating our resources. Meaning, health is wealth, man. And if you're in debt to yourself, you can't buy a motherfucking thing, dude. And at this time, the way that we may have been trading our time or our resources for stability, this might be putting restrictions on our individuality or our freedom or self-expression as well. So it's just important for us to be comfortable when Uranus is in Taurus, to try our best to get comfortable and ironically, paradoxically, not be so damn attached to your comfort zone that it becomes oppressive or restrictive or it makes you unable to be free. And this is going to say for some people who are feeling like a lack of resources, a lack of stability, for us, freedom will come through responsibility, not from it. Means find peace in the work that you're doing. Find peace in what you provide for the world and what you provide for yourself. Don't chase, attract. And if you have to act, do it with trust. Don't do it with fear. Rest assured that this universe is abundant and rich. And if you see disparity of resources, you see uncertainty in the collective and in the physical, you got to dive back into your heart and remember that the universe within you gives you infinite optionality. And that might not always be the form you want, but there's always an option, okay? I promise you there's always an option. So Neptune is next. Uranus is barely moving. And Neptune isn't going to move at all for real, besides a couple minutes. And Neptune is at 26 Pisces. Neptune is about our spiritual understanding of the world. It's the dream the collective is trying to manifest. And it's really our aspirations for perfectionism and idealism. And what is Pisces? The universe itself, transcendence in love, unconditional, and profound transcendental meaning / forgiveness and release. So this is the thing about Neptune Pisces. Neptune is an even longer orbit, of course. Roughly like 15 years per sign. And the ideals right now is to embody our spiritual journey and to have a transcendental experience with life, to be so deeply merged in the collective experience that we can see all things as one. And that's actually what Neptune in Pisces is about. But at the same time, this can be extremely disillusioning because of the tendency to project our inner world into the external world. So I'm seeing a shit ton of air, dude. the Queen, the Page, and then the Nine of Swords is saying that we have to be able to step beyond our perception to realize where our beliefs come from and what we step beyond our ideas to see what we're actually projecting emotionally from life as well. And this is an opportunity to build more love into the world, to build a higher level of connection and understanding. And what I see with this Ace of Cups coming out is this Neptune retrograde is showing us the ways that we had ourselves confused. It's showing us how we had deluded ourselves and how we may have given the wrong sacrifices to the world or others within it and martyred ourselves or not protected ourselves. In other words, betrayed ourselves through the things that we wanted to offer up to the world. In other words, man, nobody's coming to save you, so you must save yourself. You need to prioritize self-preservation, or else you may find yourself in need of protection. Okay? So always work on protection. I'm not saying this again to scare you, but I'm saying this to prepare you for the world you live in, man. There's inherent dangers and risks, man, and the strong always eat the weak, and that's just how it's always been. And a lot of people like to think that because we're humans and we've dominated the food chain that this rule does not apply anymore. It does. But the problem is, man, we don't want to see each other eating each other physically. So it's like we eat each other emotionally. We eat each other mentally. We eat each other through resources and finances and corporations and the fucking world, politics, and all types of bullshit, man. So I'm telling you all the fucking truth, man, is that Powakatsi, aka power play and acquisition, is the only rule of the game. Meaning if you don't prioritize self-preservation, you might just offer yourself up as food, willingly or unconsciously. And that's going to be incredibly sad for those that want to live a good life, because they are often seen as weak for being kind. So you can't be too kind that you become weak, and you can't be too severe that you become cruel. And that's why we shoot for the middle pillar of balance. So grounding ourselves, earth and water, being more conservative with our emotions, our ideas, with our needs. If you listen, guys, if you love something, you never risk it. And that's the same when it comes to yourself, your relationships, your projects, your goals. If you love something, you never fucking risk it, okay? Don't ever forget that shit, man. Pluto's in retrograde, and Pluto spends half the fucking year in retrograde, man. So like I said, Pluto's at 28, and it will be at 28 at the end of the week. It won't move damn near at all, besides a couple minutes. And what is Pluto? Pluto's the great revealer. Pluto is the evolutionary journey of the soul. Pluto is really about the deep, dark, unconscious part of ourself that begs for evolution, that begs for change. This is Mars's higher octave. And the highest manifestation of instinct is evolution. And this is going to happen personally through your own natal chart, but you'll see it multi-generationally go through the transit chart as Pluto moves through the whole zodiac, okay? And this is going to indicate the different power and control issues that we're going to be experiencing. And with Pluto in Capricorn finishing its final retrograde, this is just going to say that systemic oppression is being dismantled. And also immune suppression is being dismantled as well. Pluto Cap, with the Saturn Cap conjunction in 2020, that coincided with that damn coronavirus pandemic as well. So the further we get out, the more slow it's going to move, and the more you'll see this happen with some of the trends in the culture as well. But Pluto Capricorn is about fixing our health from the inside as well, and about really restructuring the DNA. And I know the further out we go, the more woo-woo this sounds. As a Virgo rising myself, sometimes I don't like to say shit like this because some people will hear me, and I've gotten the response before, you're pulling this out of your ass, Mark, you're making this shit up. Like I never trained to be an astrologer formally. Like I haven't done this shit for fucking years or lifetimes. And here's my anger coming up again, dude. You see me? Damn, is the sun in Virgo. Let's get the roses out. Woosah. And I call upon the spirit of Rose to bring peace and love into this space. And by the powers of Mars and Venus, may all paradox be destroyed with love and truth. And so it is. But yeah, this is restructuring the DNA. And I know that sounds woo-woo because the question then becomes, how, bro? Or what the fuck does that mean? again, man, if as above, so below is a thing, which it is, in other words, it's all energy, so it all connects on some level, that's just going to say that when you fix your mind, when you create more peace within your perception, you'll create more peace within the body. And you can send healing to all parts of yourself because, again, time and space is a facade. This is Saturn ruling over Pluto, which is a little bit challenging, but I would just say that, dude, you can literally restructure your DNA, which is Pluto, the DNA, through your conscious awareness, through breath work. You can do this through a simple meditation without even thinking about it because it will directly affect it. But you could also take holistic methods of healing like Reiki or crystal healing or shamanism and actually send healing to your literal DNA. I'm not even kidding, man. And the benefit of that would be changing your whole genetic code. It would be overcoming structural inefficiencies and building more integrity within your health. But deeper than this, no, let me not say deeper. Let me say above all this, man, because this talks about the way Pluto of Capricorn affects the body, micro and macro, is that we have to really take control over our health with Pluto and Capricorn. This would also say that you need to take control over your business, take control over your structure, and also, it's fuck the government, dude. It's fuck the authority, fuck the system, dude. We need systems in place because they give us resources and they help us organize the world. But at some point, if the system becomes too oppressive and too restrictive, or the system's participation in Powakatsi has become oppressive to the people holding up the system, the people then dismantle the system. And that's just the way that it goes. And Pluto will go into Aquarius after the retrograde stations direct and moves into Aquarius, obviously. I mean, gets out of Capricorn. As I said, I'm like, damn. As it gets out of Capricorn, I'll damn near say it's going to get into Aquarius when it gets into Aquarius, of course. So I'm like, bro, come on, man. Do better. So Pluto in Aquarius is power to the people. Pluto in Aquarius is freedom through the mind. And it's a war on the mind as well. And this is just going to say that you have to take control over your perception and really just remember that truth will set us free. And that if we all come together, our unified effort will be way stronger than an individual one, and it'll be the strongest force ever, man. We don't need them, they need us. And if we come together, man, our strength in numbers can do any fucking thing in the world. So I see with this one is that we also need to be sovereign in our own being, so we're not afraid of connecting with other people as well. So we're not afraid of collaborating as well. Living your truth is vitally important with Pluto going into Aquarius after the Capricorn ends. And Pluto is square the north and the south node, meaning that there are huge karmic shifts happening in real time. And the oversoul is plucking things out and putting new things in as well. So play your role. And be one with your soul. Spend time within to listen to yourself. A lot of people are awaiting activation at this point. But activation comes from within. Activation comes through da'ath. This comes from sitting with yourself and choosing a direction. I see a lot of uncertainty in the collective right now. And what I'm seeing is that you have to be able to take a risk. There's this dichotomy of humans where we are very eager to experience our freedom, but just as eager to throw it away and just squander it. So you need to be okay with not having all your options spelled out in front of you and having complete certainty and conviction of your choices. The age of Aquarius is the age of the self. It's the age of individuality. And Pluto in Aquarius is going to coincide with this shift. Many will argue when the Aquarius age actually starts, but I'm telling you guys, there's no time like the present, and we're ushering the age in right now. whether you agree or disagree when it starts, we're experiencing this energy right now. And it's just going to say that the answers are inside of you. And if you're looking outside of yourself for them, you're fucking lost, man. And I'm grateful to be in this position and talk to my people, man. I'm only here for confirmation or perspective. I'm not here to give you answers, dude. That's the crazy thing about this, is that I'm just light and you are light as well. So your inner self is going to guide your intentions, your direction. And you need to use your mind, your forms of rationality to move yourself forward. And what that's actually going to say, my friends, is that you need to shift to the vibration of air and get out of the fucking water. And water is emotion, air is intellect. And you need both of these to live on earth. This is the sign of the water bearer, using empirical rationality to direct your feelings and actions. Listen to your emotions, honor your emotions, but do not let your emotions guide your actions or oppose your logic. That's not going to work, okay? For us to evolve, we have to be able to feel our feelings, address them with rationality, and act on our highest understanding, okay? And I'm a Mars in Cancer. I'm going to tell you guys, this shit is easier said than done. It's actually quite difficult. But it's just going to say that you need to let your mind make the decisions, okay? The age of light, the age of Aquarius, the age of truth, okay? Pluto square the node said, find your soul, man. And it's not outside of you, it's within you. And when you listen to your soul, you'll find your assignment. I promise you. You don't have to believe me, man. You can try it out. So on another note, let's talk about these aspects, because we're already 50 minutes into this. And I'm at that moment where, again, I'm like, damn, does this video suck? Do I turn the video off and start again? Do I spend all day trying to shoot Mars Day with Mark, or do I just wrap it up? So I hope you guys have been enjoying this one, and I just want to say thank you for watching, even though I'm not done yet. This week, we have a really interesting trine from the Sun to Jupiter, and this is expansion and full speed ahead. This is expanding our sense of self and giving us more confidence in our action and our ability to express our authentic core. So Jupiter trine the Sun is a student mentality, and this is also going to improve our scope of detail when it comes to learning about the world. And on top of this, man, you're going to see that Mercury is trine Jupiter as well this week. And the Sun is in a Mercury ruled sign off the rip, so all I really got to say on top of that is that things are going to be making more sense. They're going to be really adding to our scope of detail about the world, or giving us more guidance and direction as well. And you may also see that your ability to communicate your thoughts might improve this week as well. Your plans might be a little bit more detailed or concise or meaningful. And you may also be able to receive other people's communication more detailed, see between the scenes and read between the lines easier with this one. And I also want to say that when it comes to Mercury retro, specifically with this trine of Jupiter, it's looking like the plans you had set out before that didn't make sense, you'll now be able to see why they didn't quite work out. Whew, sheesh, man. But Spirit wants to say, with this Pluto Aquarius energy, you have to free yourself so you can free everybody else, man, in that order. When you connect with yourself, you connect with the world, and only in that order. You can't help others when you haven't helped yourself. You can't give what you don't have. So self-preservation is the priority. And quit being such a martyr that you forget that. Or that you feel, aka feel, emotion that you can't do self-preservation. Like the emotion outweighs the thought. You know you have to preserve yourself so you can survive. But it's like this Saturn fucking Pisces, this Neptune Pisces energy, this hyper empathy and sensitivity and kindness we have to everybody can make us make sacrifices at a detriment to ourselves. And when you go hard for others, listen, when you ride for others but you don't ride for yourself, you're riding for literally fucking nobody. Okay? And let's talk about it, man. Jupiter is square Venus this week too. And this is pretty serious, man. We've had this aspect of apply and separate and reapply because of these retrogrades. But when we talk about Venus square Jupiter, man, this is a spiritual love and a need for expansion. It's funny, I'm like literally scrolling back, or not scrolling, but flipping back a couple weeks. I'm like, yep, there's Jupiter square Venus. There it is again. A need for adventure, need for something new as well. careless or idealistic expression. So, hey man, don't be so damn thirsty that you drink poison this week. That's another thing that this talks about, is that, yeah, there's a deep need to be loved and accepted and appreciated, especially with Venus reversing her direction. But, you know, at what cost, man? Consider your true values, and don't let that need for a sense of freedom or adventure let you do things that are out of character. Truly, truly, truly. Okay, love and appreciate yourself, and do not give that power of love and appreciation to other people in hopes that they give it back to you. That's working loving backwards. Okay, so we ain't gonna do that. Indulgence is gonna be kind of high this week, so indulge shamelessly. Don't put artificial guilt on yourself for experiencing your needs. But on another note, don't be so damn hedonistic you throw your life away as well. Moderation when it comes to substance or supply, people, relationships, values. Just make it make sense. Don't go too hard. And this is also going to say, for those that are partnered or considering a partnership, allowing a place for spirit within your relationships. And for some of y'all who, this is so fun. I love astrology so much, man, because the way I get to see these things. For some of y'all who don't do this, God is going to make a way and say, bitch, y'all there, you think you could be conscious, you think you could be toxic, unconscious people in a relationship. But by the way, y'all, you can't hide from God. And God is going to be like, look, here I am, bitch. And also this shit is kind of flawed. So y'all are going to have to really adjust. And I see this as like a restless energy or a quick change that's going to come to some people who are already partnered within their relationships and need to expand or change these dynamics. You know, and you'll see this through what's making you happy or what's making you comfortable. Some things might kind of take the joy out of you now, and that's going to be your opportunity to dive within yourself and realize where you need to heal as well. Because there is a lot of healing, a lot of Mars and Libra energy going on, dude. And you literally cannot negotiate if you're unwilling to walk away. So when it comes to the partnerships that we have, you need to understand what your true needs are, communicate them effectively. And then if you are not seeing cooperation or collaboration, exit that fucking relationship. And don't be so naive or so rocked to sleep that you feel like that's the best they'll ever get, man. Another thing that this square is telling you is that your future has to be bigger than your past. Because if it wasn't, you'd have no reason to keep going at all. And that's why a lot of people are stuck in broken fucking relationships, because they didn't assume anything was possible for them, but they found someone who was willing to give them the time of day or attention or what they thought was love. So they ended up surrendering their hopelessness and their desire to find a purpose into a person. So it brings a feeling of being deathly afraid of moving away from somebody, of walking away. You just got to know, man, that you can't give that power away to anybody else. So for some, I'm seeing that there is a fear of being by yourself, being isolated. But do remember, guys, whether you've seen this before yet or not, I'm going to tell you that being by yourself is way less lonely than being in the wrong relationship. I promise you that. So if your relationships are starting to become frustrationships, this might be your sign to distance yourself from these people. It doesn't necessarily mean that you would have to remove these people right off the rip. Of course, your heart and soul will tell you what to do. But I'm telling you guys, love is not supposed to hurt. Love is supposed to enhance your life. Love is supposed to bring peace, reconciliation, and evolution into your life, okay? I mean, no relationships are perfect, man. They're a form of soul growth, because essentially what you're doing, guys, is you are taking yourself and another self and you're merging energies together with a person. And that's going to allow the Spirit of God to interface with both of you privately in the relationship that only you two share. So you got to understand that a relationship is a vehicle built for evolution. And if you are with a person and you aren't intending to evolve, you're actually intending to distract each other. And it doesn't go any further than that. You'll have to argue with your damn self about that one. So you're going to have to really just make it make sense and ask yourself, am I moving forward with this partnership, or am I staying the same? Because it can't be both. Okay? And if you find that you need to be more serious about your own evolution, more power to you, more love and more wisdom to you. And if you find that someone is unwilling to cooperate with you when it comes to your growth, no mercy, man. No mercy. We don't have compassion, empathy, or conscience for those that don't have it for themselves. We don't ride for people who don't ride for themselves. And we don't have sympathy for weakness. And we don't feel guilty about not making sacrifices for people who don't do it for them damn selves, okay? And we're an hour in, dude. And that's kind of cold. But at the same time, man, it's way colder to feel betrayed by the fucking world because you didn't value yourself. Oh, yeah. And on another note, this is a little bit more out there, my friends. But this week, Neptune in the sign of Pisces is going to be in conjunct Black Moon Lilith. So here we have Neptune, and here we have Black Moon Lilith, right up here. And there's that green line, that 150. And what does that mean? Some confusion within the shadow and the spirit. And I would like to divine about this a little bit, man. So let's call that Neptune, and let's call the devil Lilith really quick. Hold on tight this week, guys, is all I'm trying to say. Like I said, broadly speaking, to wrap this up, I feel like things aren't moving very fast because we have a lot of retrograde motion right now. We have a waning moon. So this is about deep revision when it comes to yourself. Being firmly rooted in yourself. Looking at the things within the realm of your control. I see Pluto Scorpio in the first house taking control over your life, man. Really just not letting things interrupt you, but also choosing love and understanding with this Leo Pisces energy. This is going to involve a need for a lot of forgiveness. Forgiveness for yourself, probably more than anybody else. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, forgive yourself. Forgive everybody else. Rise above with compassion. Be honest about how you feel. Honor your true feelings, because what I'm seeing with this in conjunction is that in interest of the work that we are presented with, aka shadow work, looking into the unconscious, what this in conjunction feels like is a confusion as far as whose problems are these? Am I receiving this energy or am I projecting this energy? And I feel like the answer is not that clear right now. So this may prompt us to spend more time alone this week as well. Or even if we are social or spending a lot of time involved with the world, I'm seeing that this perspective is really more isolating because it does reflect an oversensitivity to the world. And because of that, it's going to prompt us to go back within to diagnose, again, am I sending or receiving? Understanding the value of hatred is never fun, but it's necessary. And anger can be a lot more productive than sadness too. So I encourage you guys to rise above apathy this week. Rise above a tendency to give the fuck up. Instead of being apathetic or despondent, get pissed off. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm trying to tell you, if you feel like you're in the pits or that it doesn't make sense or there's no hope or no purpose, get pissed. Get upset. Find the power. Get in your Mars. And go to the gym. Go do some push-ups or go walk around the neighborhood or something like that. Or do a little bit of yoga. Or scream in the car. You know, what I'm seeing with this one is that there's a deep release, and it might not even make that much sense, man, because it seems like at this time, the personal issues are wrapped up in the collective issues as well. And again, this is kind of reflecting the timelessness of life itself. So find healthy avenues to express your frustrations, whether that's through art, whether that's through exercise, whether that is through isolation, or even involvement with your friends and activities that can help you express these emotions. This is about getting to the core of your authentic self and really getting clear about what your personal responsibilities are within the collective as well. Okay? But a need for grounding more than anything. Hokmah Malkuth. A need to be grounded. What is the Saturn in Scorpio? Good Lord, man. Yeah. Releasing attachment from other people as well. Protecting your energy is what I'm seeing with this one, guys. So this week is a great week to work protection in your magical workings. And just spend more time with yourself. Like I said, not just to be isolating in hermit mode for the sake of it, but to get more understanding of yourself, to realize what energies are you and what is not you. This would be the best week to work protection, truly. To do your banishings every day, to chant mantra every day, to light protection candles. Fuck it, every day. You might not need to do it every day, but take a salt bath once a week. If you can do it every day, fuck around and do that, you know. You'll have like the most wrinkly skin at the end of the week. I'm playing. Or like, you know when you get out the bath and your skin's all wrinkly, that's what I meant. But protection, 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 man. Call on your angels. Protection can really be as simple as meditation, banishing, and offering. If you do all three of those things, man, you don't got to worry about shit because your mind will be clear. You will have removed energy on a consistent basis, so you know how to get rid of anything that doesn't serve you. And also, if you make enough offerings in spirit, you'll have enough help on the other side of the veil that you don't even really need to ask more than one time if anything ever goes down. You feel me? So, with that being said, I think I'm about to sign out, y'all, because there's so much. Ooh, hold on one second. There's so much I've said in this one video that I don't want to talk anybody's ears off, but I understand some of y'all do like to listen to me talk. So you'd rather prefer like a stream of conscious as opposed to like one of those chopped up and organized videos. Something's on my soul. Spirit wants me to say something. Forgive your mom, for real. And I saw this in the astrology, man. Sometimes I'm like, is this my, because I got my own mommy issues. And, you know, I'm like, am I making this shit up? Am I projecting this? But I see that Ceres is square Pluto right now, y'all. I didn't talk about this yet, but with Ceres square Pluto, mother issues may be resurfacing, man. And there's going to be a need to build emotional and mental balance. And also it's like to honor the way your parents might have made you feel, to rise above it with compassion and understanding, but also to not rise above your pain, not to deny your pain and be so empathic to people again, where you deny your own self-preservation. That's not gonna fucking work, dude. And it would go both ways, man. There's a million ways to look at all the archetypes and the spectrums. It's like for some of y'all with this Ceres square Pluto, is like, don't let your fucking kids be dickheads. Don't let your kids be evil to you. Don't let your kids do things that are out of character or harmful to you. It goes literally both ways, dude. Don't let your mom harm you, and don't be a harmful mom. And if you are a mom, don't let your kids harm you as a mom, okay? Because it's all about love, dude. That's why the fuck we're here. That's why we got here, man. So to build more love, we have to build truth. And that's going to require us to be honest with each other, how we feel, and not judge each other for our feelings. Like, our feelings are our own. Your feelings is the chalice on the altar of your soul. And that just means that it's your altar. Like, the way I feel is the way I feel. The way you feel is the way you feel. So we can't tell somebody that their feelings aren't valid. That's not okay. And also, there's conflict resolution skills that need to be developed at this time, man. What I'm seeing is that, you know, thank God my mom is a social worker, because at a young age, she taught me how to basically express that I feel blank when you blank. And that statement is objective. And sometimes when we approach others with our emotional needs, it's easy to be like, you don't do this for me. You don't listen to me. You don't, you this, you. And when you're saying that, you're really just kind of condemning and pointing the finger at somebody. And even if you're right, it's going to involve somebody to be defensive or predicate them to defend themselves. And that's just going to say they're not going to want to really listen. Or if they do listen and comply, they're going to feel like they were kind of oppressed or bullied or forced into it as well. So in relationships, as well as in business, you don't often get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. And that's just going to say your best interest is sales, persuasion, and being able to articulate your ideas in a way where other people feel like they came to that conclusion. You hear what I'm saying? Crazy stuff, man. Let me explain it this way. I was giving a reading to somebody on this same energy where it was like, hey, husband, I know you love me so much, and I appreciate the years we've spent together. You know you're my rock. And because of that, I know that you're willing to do whatever it takes to make this relationship work. But now I gotta tell you, I feel terrible when you don't address me when I come into the house. I feel terrible whenever I'm frustrated and you tell me to calm down, or things like that. I'm just giving you examples. That's way different. And then saying, let me just take a full circle and then I'll tell you why it's different. I feel hurt when and invalidated when you tell me to calm down rather than seeing how I feel when I'm frustrated. And I need you to hold more space for my emotions and perhaps just ask me what's wrong rather than trying to fix things sometimes. That would make me feel a lot better, and I appreciate all the help you give me already. That's build, break, build. And also through that context, this person should kind of see that, hey, oh fuck, I'm married to this person and I do want to help them. And I might not have felt this way, but apparently when I act this way, that's going to hurt them. Never considered, and that's cool. And the fact that it was kind of build, break, build, that makes me feel like they're actually trying to support me and supporting them. But if you approached your husband like, look, motherfucker, you don't treat me right. You treat me like dog shit. And then they're probably like, whoa, what the fuck? Every time every time my emotions are up, you always want to tell me, and it's like, then you start exaggerating, you start condemning, pointing these fingers, man. And even if they get right to the core of it, they're going to be like, well, I see the point, but since you've harmed me with your emotions so many times, it's like, I can give you what you want, but I feel terrible about it, you know? So the whole point is like, you want to address your needs objectively, rationally. And if you really care about somebody and you want a relationship with them, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. In other words, it's going to say, be gentle and remember that it's you guys versus the problem. It's not you versus your partner. Even if that's romance, if that's your parents, whoever the fuck it is, it's us versus the issue. It's not us versus each other. So we need to be able to be nice with each other, but be honest enough so we can realize how we can both come out ahead on top. On the terms and note of negotiating, you want to ask, how can we both get what we want? Let's imagine in the future both having what we want, and let's work backwards from that and then see how that goes. But I see healing across all timelines and dimensions and spaces, y'all, and that's a lot to take in, a lot to think about. But shit, man, I'll talk about it again next week when Saturn is still in the sign of Pisces. So I love you guys from the depths of my soul. Thanks for listening to me. Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it, guys, because energy is the currency. Attention is one of the most valuable forms of it. So not just for my ego, the fact that I'm able to build this whatever the fuck, that's really awesome, guys. So we will describe it better as we go. It's a beautiful journey, and I'm glad that you're a part of the ride. Thank you for hitting that like. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out today to watch me ramble about astrology. I hope that something in this video has given you power, encouragement, meaning, and perspective. Until next time, I will see you guys in the next video, 1 week from now, in the middle of retrograde season. Blessed be, blessed we.